Hello, everyone, and welcome to Time Together with Carolyn. Carolyn is with her boyfriend. They're sitting out on a riverbank, and she has planned 4 days together and asked him what he thought about that and was he available for that. And he said yes. 3 of those days, I'm paraphrasing, 3 of those days, but one of them he committed to be with someone else. It happened to be a woman. And so that did not go down well with Carolyn. Her mind went nutso. And oh my goodness, enough said. Let's do the work. And let's go sit with Carolyn on that riverbank with her boyfriend. You are the beautiful. You are the beautiful. Other than that, what are you thinking and believing that would cost you that kind of awareness? Anything you've ever said or done that you feel guilt over, just notice. Just notice how you react when you believe the thought. It's not right or wrong. It's just notice what happens when you believe the thought. And who would you be without it? Oh my goodness, there's so many options there to right my apparent wrongs. Just like, the story of Hansel and Gretel when they're leaving breadcrumbs so they can find their way back. It's like that, a life leaving no breadcrumbs behind because you're just no longer lost. They're not needed. Let's just say one of us could just pick you up and put you in a war zone. Whatever that war zone looked like when I said, imagine that. And just get still. Notice without the illusion of past, future, like the past a second ago, even in a war zone, and in the future of what might happen in this next second. Past, future, it doesn't matter. The apparent distance the ego would hold up to you. Hold up to you. Other than what we're thinking and believing, grace. And in that grace, you understand the cause of war, the cause of fear, and there could be someone or something you can do in that clarity of mind. At your fingertips, right there. Or not. And if so, there you are fearlessly, just acting out of your heart, out of your true nature. It's just like a, excuse me, like a duh, a life of how can I help, as opposed to a life of how can you help me? Oh dears, those of you new to the work today, welcome to the work. The work is a way to identify what's going on in your head, identify the thoughts you're thinking, and how to end it. How to identify the thoughts that cause all the suffering in your life and how to end that suffering. That's not something the world can give me. There could be, everyone at war, but am I? Am I? What am I at war with? All we need to do is just become aware, and who and what we're at war with pops up. And if we move that from our head to paper and just meditate in it, what I mean by just get still in it, meditate in it, ponder it and ask yourself, is it true? And then to notice how you react when you believe the thought, how you treat others, how you treat yourself when you believe the thought. And who would you be without it? And that's not going into denial. Who am I without the thought? I'm not trying to dodge it. I want to understand it. Who am I without the thought? He hurt my feelings. Is it true? Well, I see him hurting my feelings, but is that now that he's hurting my feelings, or is that imagination, ego? And that the next time I see him, ego pops that in again, and he says, "Good morning, honey," and yeah. After all he said and did, he says, "Good morning, honey." I give him the look. He knows what that look means. Or I would have to add to it, like, and on and on and on. What is the cause of my suffering? What he said yesterday, for example, is in my head. That's on me. That's in me. That is not him. I'm in a trance. I'm hypnotized. I have no proof of yesterday, even though the world would tell me there's a yesterday. This is about awareness. The ego, I see yesterday in my mind's eye. I see him yesterday in my mind's eye. You hear people talk about, they say things like, it's an illusion. Well, there it is. It's an illusion. What is the cause of my suffering? Him or yesterday in my head? The trance. The trance. Asleep in a trance. Being tranced. Being imaged. Imagination. Imaged. Earth school. All we need to do here, is to know the difference between reality and yesterday or tomorrow. And eventually, it's like knowing the difference between now and the not now. Now and the not then. Yesterday, then. 10 minutes from now, then. Oh, dears, those of you new to the work today, welcome. In this community, we identify the cause of our suffering. We question it. And by some miracle, we wake up to the cause of our suffering in any given moment. And, we time travel. How did I treat him? What was I thinking about him yesterday? And I fill in what I call a worksheet. And that apparent yesterday, that illusion, that apparent yesterday with him when he said what he said and did what he did, is in my head. And I move it from my head to paper, and then I get still in that. I question it. I meditate in it. This work is about knowing the difference between what came into my mind just now, between heaven and hell. I heard that for years. I know hell, my own. And I know the opposite, my own. We all have that. We all have those happy moments and those terrible moments. Those terrible moments. Good news. That thing that happened, it's over. Right here, right now. But the ego's job is to offer it up, offer it up, offer it up. If you say, I'm going to slap you across the face, Byron Katie, and you go, what is the cause of my fear? I'm experiencing the hit before you hit me. Understand? It's like, it's going to hit me. Ah. The illusion, not right or wrong. I would say duck, you know, but eventually you don't have to duck. It's like you're being ducked, moved, and the slap misses you, chances are. And if not, if he does slap me, what is the cause of my suffering? The past, that immediate past where he hit me. But I feel the pain, that's my proof. Even pain is either remembered or anticipated. Don't believe me? Through this work, just working on mother, father, sister, brother, etc., will give you the kind of awareness, for better for worse, as I speak of it, in it, out of it, my experience, my experience, my experience, my experience, my tested experience. And you have you're the test tube. We each have our own world. I can't take care of your of your pain and suffering. I don't have that power. I can't take care of your anger or your happiness. That's, it's yours by some grace. We all have our own. Perfectly. We have our own. And the grace of understanding that what I'm thinking and believing about that past is over, and what I fear about the future, the way I anticipate, it's like, Justin, honey, you have a question.
Good morning, Katie.
Yes, so far. Make my day.
Agreed. Well, you say have the work for breakfast, and as I'm sitting here at 9:13 a.m. in Arizona, I'm thinking being with you is better than breakfast.
Oh.
This is such good food for my mind and soul. Also, I have to say your hair is looking great today.
All I'm hearing
Really?
is, all
The
I'm
wisp
hearing
on the
is,
side.
it was yesterday. Thank you, honey. That's meaningful. I really like to do my best, and that's I appreciate that.
And you can see it, right? Now that you have the sight to do it. Because you had fugue dystrophy for a bit, right? You couldn't do the hair like this.
Yeah, it's for whatever reason, that I can't recall. Yesterday was weird, and I'm hearing from you today is better. Yay!
I was there yesterday, and I'm loving your hair right now.
Okay, and I'm grateful for
And my question is also about something you said yesterday. I've heard you say about the ego two things. I've heard you say the ego isn't real.
the ego is.
Yes, the ego isn't real.
Yeah.
And then yesterday we had a caller who was experiencing something so heavy. She was saying like she was feeling carried away by her thinking, and you suggested she get a helper, call the helpline. And the question is, how can an ego that isn't real be so powerful that you can't engage with it without help from a third party?
Well, honey, some of us need we don't quite understand what the work is. We just don't quite understand. And then we can maybe find someone that understands self-inquiry and what that is from experience, and get a little help from that person.
I get that. Like, I feel carried away. I resonated with her. I'm not saying like, why couldn't she do the work? That's not. I feel carried away by the stream of thinking and the ego all the time. But if it's not real, where's this? How is it so powerful to do that?
If you if you get on a plane and you're learning to parachute and someone talked you into it, it's not something you really want to do, but you don't want to let them down or you don't want them to think you're a coward or anything. And you get on that plane and you go up and it's your turn to jump and you're fearful, just stop that. Not likely. Not likely. It's fear is when we're caught in the illusion of past and future. And future, for sure, that is like, this work is like being in that plane. And when you're sitting in the work, just jump, jump. Open your mind, take the ride that the ego really, really, it doesn't want you to identify it, understand it. It would cost it identity of I am this physical object. Ego, who is it without this body? We all know that, like what we call a dead body, we can just put it in the ground and throw dirt on it. No ego. So those of us apparently living, then, this is a way to literally just crawl our way out of the grave. So,
I definitely experienced that. It definitely feels like crawling out of a grave when I'm doing the work. But if it's not real,
well, I would
the struggle, why the crawling?
I would just drop the if and test it, continue to test it. Like I had breakfast with Stephen this morning. Where's my proof? I don't have any. So I'm, because it's just an image in my head. But that just an image is my identity. I had breakfast with Stephen this morning. Okay. It's like, who would I be without, my story, turn it around? I think I'll just go ask Stephen, did we have breakfast this morning? And he says, yes, honey, we had breakfast this morning. Am I going to believe him or am I going to look to myself? Not to win or lose or be in denial or none of it, just to understand, the difference between now and then.
I like the suggestion, and I will continue to do inquiry, and I can see how inquiry is like the shovel coming out of the grave, for sure. For me, I definitely, when you talk about, like you said earlier, I'm going to put you in a war. My mind went to Ukraine and Russia battlefront, maybe even something out of Dunkirk.
Yeah.
And I think about war. I'm a political science student, and I know some of the stories from Germany, and I watch the films, and so I see these scenes of torture, and I'm trying to have a Byron Katie brain in the torture chair a lot of times when I'm working with you, because, and you're right, that's future, right? That's anticipated as the bullet comes or the axe or the whatever. And so I really appreciate inquiry. I guess my question might be more about the nature of the ego's structure. So for example, when I was imagining asking you this question before I asked you the question half hour ago, a thought came to my mind that like a vortex, like a whirlpool is, like when I flush the toilet, the middle of that, it's nothing. It's not really anything, but there's sort of a movement to it, maybe a spin. And certainly that draws me in. There's like an energy that like sucks me and I feel can be carried away by it. But ultimately at the center of it, what is it? There's actually literally nothing there. Could you speak to that? Like the nature or the structure of the pole or the energy that carries me away? And sometimes I get lost in the trance, even though it's not even
energy is, as if I'm understanding you, the energy you speak of is the emotional that happens when we're thinking and believing thoughts that go against what is beautiful, what is kind, what is good, what is understanding, what
Right.
is generous, what is love. And
So I'm flushing the toilet in my head when I believe a thought, and I just get carried away with these emotions.
well, and
And I go down the drain with it.
yeah, and you're innocent in it because images come with what you're thinking and believing. And thoughts without images have no power.
And also what I'm
And
seeing,
images without name have no power. But that
and
combination is would lead you to believe there's a parent life. Thought with images. It's like your world. That's it.
and does the physical world feed off of that? So if I'm sitting in a chair and I'm in a war zone and someone's about to torture me, I see the hand coming, and then I believe that there's a hand coming.
But you believe it's going to hit you.
I believe it's going to hit me.
Yeah, you're not busy, well, you're seeing it coming, yes, but the end game is uh, he, she, they are going to hit me, identification. Other than that, where's the problem? It hits what? Me, I, what I'm thinking and believing about that, in the terror of they're going to do it again. They're going to hit me again. So it's and so then the image of that last hit, if they're hitting you as fast as they can, even, but the image and experience that in your mind's eye of that last hit is the cause of your suffering. And so you're even out of the physical experience of
Yeah.
the first one. It's imagination by then. The gift of life is in the center of all of it. And people
Yeah.
that have experienced what you were describing have
Right.
had just amazing, come out with often so much um, enlightenment. They come out with an understanding that maybe they can't even speak to, and the ego has swallowed up. But it's by some grace, all all physical pain is either remembered or anticipated. And this work, because we just do it with mother, father, sister, brother, it brings everything into focus that we're speaking of now. So those of you new to the work, you don't have to start with pain, and you have enough pain in your life, like he left me, I'm too fat, she hurt my feelings, that the mundane is not mundane. It is the ego's fight for survival, and the ego is nothing more than a state of mind identifying as I am having a thought.
I
Am I
hear you.
having a thought? Am I being thought? Is the answer yes to that is much more honest. Like I had the thought, yeah, and I'm, I'm being thought. So I'm just, we're innocent. But then the illusion that comes with it, honey, it just, that's the cause of all suffering in the life, for the life of the believer.
I'm hearing you say in that scenario, the thoughts to question would be both what I'm anticipating to happen next as the hand is coming, but also
And,
question what I'm
and a
seeing.
memory of the past, which isn't the
Yeah.
past, it's a memory.
But also question what I'm seeing. And so the both thought of like, is that a hand, and am I my body? It's not just an anticipation, but it's questioning even what my physical eyes are perceiving. Is that correct?
Ask it again.
So that the work that I would do in the scenario I described, sitting in the chair, or that you described earlier, a hand is coming, there's some kind of physical pain or abuse or torture. The work to do is not just it's an anticipation of what will happen next. I question those thoughts,
That
but also,
anticipation is already anchored to the hit that hasn't happened yet.
yeah, yeah, I see that. But also I'm doing the work and inquiry on I am my body and I see a hand. Is it true? It's a
And
questioning the apparent world that I perceive with my physical eyes. Do you do
honey,
the work? You do the work.
what is the eye that sees the body?
Well, I don't see my physical body except in this Zoom call and in the mirror. But when I see another person's hand coming at me, I'm thinking there's a person with a hand, and I question even that.
Yes, as you said, in your meditation, you get really still. Yes, but if that is happening, as we say in life, duck.
Yeah. And question later.
Hmm. Yeah, question because it's fearful, and by some, it's like the mind doesn't go. I think I'll duck. It's just this. It's a reflex, and what I'd like for all of you, and for all of us, is to just notice what ducked you. It was beyond mind. It's like it was mindless. You ducked. That's, it's like someone throws a ball at me. Someone throws like a baseball. Or let's say I'm up to bat. I have a bat, and the pitcher throws it. And 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 I don't have to watch that ball, so to speak. My bat knows what to hit. That's the thing. So I'm watching the ball and holding the bat, and I don't have to try to hit the ball. I see it. That is like stillness. I'm not anticipating where the ball's going. I see it. I don't know if
Is
words.
that potentially, we say the ego is of the body, it's a construct of the body. And I'm thinking it's the amygdala, it's this lower brain fight or flight, which I've always equated with the ego. So is it the ego that's telling me to duck because it's this lower brain fight or flight,
It
instantaneous?
can just be by rote. But if someone's going to hit me, they put their hand here, and I'm watching the ball again. I'm the bat. So they say, I'm going to hit you, and they actually make that movement, and I just duck. They miss me.
Strike one. Yeah, they're the bat. My head's the ball.
Yeah, and it's just like that, but I don't lose connection as I look into their eyes. This is not me in the experience of avoiding suffering. Who would harm another human being? Who would miss the experience of just a compassionate life looking at someone that would harm another human being? But if I look at that person and I'm so fearful and I already see the bat hitting me before it hits me, that's that's on me. And then I blame that person for it. And I've missed the privilege of being there in present with a very confused human being.
You don't want to believe they harm you. Even as the hand is coming at you, you're not believing this person is evil and wants to hurt me. You're believing that they are love, they're compassionate being.
I'm believing that yeah, and that is primary. But what I'm interested in is how can I help? If that person actually makes that hit, they experience guilt. If I can serve them by being present, then I'm supporting another human being that is hurting, fearful, in other words.
Thank you, Katie.
Mhm. Yeah.
I hear that.
Yeah, it's you know, I have an expression and it's not always understood, but it's like no one can hurt me. That's my job.
Well, my mind goes to Christ with he just lets the nails go through his hands and thinks, how can I serve them?
Yeah,
He didn't
that's
dodge the nails that time, but maybe another time he did.
don't know. But for me, that's the story of possibilities.
Yeah, that's what I mean too.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, because I just can't know, but can I know myself? Can I know myself?
And who
Yeah.
do I want to be in that situation? And that's why I love the work, is because you're giving me a possibility to be somebody new in a violent situation.
Yeah, I'm giving you the framework and some experience in it, but the work I can't give you.
Yeah.
That's the work I can't give anyone. It's like you sitting in it, you're the one, just understanding all those nails that have been pounded into you, like she said and they did, and it's not for all that stuff running in us. Yeah, yeah, those are the nails. Yeah, there's a way out of suffering, and
I just need so much inquiry for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's just a continuous digging for me.
it certainly doesn't end in me either, sweetie. We sure have that in common. Yeah, yeah.
Well, you are beautiful today. Thank you.
Thank you, honey. I'll take that
The
as
hair and the brain and
the
all of it.
body. Yeah. Thank you for all. Oh, honey. Carolyn, honey, you have a worksheet? So those of you new to the work, a worksheet, a judge your neighbor worksheet, there are 6 questions on it. And a worksheet, we fill them in, we anchor in a time and place, and we identify our thoughts. And as we identify our thoughts in that situation, the thoughts we were thinking, we fill in this worksheet. And number 1 is the problem. So what is the situation, and what did you write for number 1?
Yeah, so it's interesting that you say that the only person who can hurt me is myself. And it's true, but like there's one topic that is just really difficult for me, and it's like haunting me, because like it's like coming back to me that my partners that I choose to date, they also want to meet and date other women. So I feel so in this situation, like
And what situation is that? Are you
so
brushing your teeth, or is it when
no,
you find out someone you've been dating is dating someone else? What is the situation where you're
yeah, it's
leaving?
like,
What did you feel
yeah,
for number 1?
I'm sitting at the river with the guy I've been seeing, and then we're starting to talk about plans and how we're gonna spend, like how we're gonna go and spend the trip together. And then he starts telling me about this other woman that he has already made plans with in one of those days. and in and then I got like really upset, and I put all my defense system on, and I was like, okay, then we just skip it. Like, I don't want this. Like, on like none of
Yeah,
everything in me was like
yeah,
rejecting the idea of still continuing to see him.
yeah. So what did you write for number 1
So
in that
I
situation?
I wrote that I'm upset with him because he wants to date other women.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he wants to date other women. Is it true?
Yes.
And those of you new to the work, it's the answer to that first question is either yes or no. So sometimes it takes stillness to be there now in the situation on the riverbank. But you saw fairly quickly, honey, and some of the things on our worksheets on we really have to get still in and be there now. And you're upset because he wants to date other women. He wants to date other women, be there on that riverbank with him as he's telling you what he told you, as he said what he said, and you have the thought he wants to date other women. He wants to date other women. Is it true? Can you really know that it's true? He wants to date other women.
Well, it's what he says, but I can't know for certain that it's true.
I heard from you that he said he can't go with you on those dates that you mentioned because he was dating another woman on one of those days.
Yeah.
He wants to date other women. Is it true? Notice how you react. What happens in that situation? Be there now. Notice how you react when you think the thought, he wants to date other women. And he says he can't go on those dates because one of those dates he has committed to another woman. Notice how you react, what you say, and what you said, what you do, your attitude, your emotional. Get in touch with all of that.
Yeah, well, I feel a lot of pain because.
And where? And where? No,
Like,
because that's defense. Just notice you feel a lot of pain. Where? Experience. Be there now. Notice how you react. That emotional and pain, like where your neck, your chest, your breathing, the images of past and future that happened when he says he wants, when you think the thought he wants to date other women.
yeah, there's a lot of pain in my chest and in my belly, and just like, and I remember things from the past where this has happened like that before.
So you see those images, you experience that past, the ego's offering up. And then you see images of the future in that situation when he said what he said. What are those images? Be then at the river bank, now in that situation.
I think I'm afraid, like I see myself lonely. I see myself not having my needs met, but him meeting, and like knowing he meets what I want. It's like he gives to another woman.
Yeah, so you see you alone.
Alone and frustrated.
Yeah, and you see him preferring her and maybe not calling you ever again. Now, what is the cause of your suffering? What he said? When you're believing the thoughts he wants to date other women, what is the cause of the suffering you just described to us? What he said? or what the ego was offering up as past future. What
Yeah.
your ego was offering up. What was the cause of your suffering? That, or, that movie. And all of you, that movie she described in her head, that's the cause of all emotional. You're sitting in like the movie from hell, and you're the main character. You're going to be left alone. I just think that ego, it's fighting for its life. It wants to be a you, but that's imagination and so vivid. What is the cause of your emotional? What he said or what you're thinking and believing in that situation on the riverbank?
Well, it's my fear of being alone. So it's my ego. Yes, the images I'm creating in that moment.
And the images you're creating are the ones that are just happening.
The ones that yeah.
You're not the doer. That's ego play. That's not you, unless you can take that you out of your head and show it to you.
So the images the ego is creating then.
Yeah. Yeah, the ego's fight for survival as an I. And that can never be. The ego is a state of mind, not body. Okay, sweetie, stay there just where you are. Look at him. Listen to his words without the thought he wants to date other women. It doesn't mean he does or doesn't. You just have no proof. There's that one day that he can't go with you. He wants to date other women. Who would you be without that thought? Just look at him, listen to him, get connected, but only if you care about him, as opposed to wanting him to fix your loneliness in the future. Get connected. Who are you without the thought he wants to date other women? Notice, does the river have a current? Is it flowing? Notice,
Yeah, it's flowing.
notice
And,
just the sky. Now notice him, look into his eyes, hear his words, without the thought he wants to date other women.
well, I can imagine how that would feel like, but I don't feel it now because I'm so focused on the pain.
Yeah, but you don't have to. You don't have to. It's just get still. Just drop the thought he wants to date other women. You can pick it up later. Because you could be right. It's just about being with someone you care about other than someone you want to use to feel safe.
Yeah, well, if I wouldn't believe all of those things, then I would just be happy to be there with him and kind of maybe offer solutions and also.
I think you're onto something. You could find other dates for the two of you, or to be together, or you can just take the dates that are available to be together.
Yeah, but isn't that also like, because if I'm looking for a long-term partner, do I even get involved with somebody who's already dating
Yes,
somebody else?
as long as you let them know ahead of time, this isn't just a date for me. I'm looking I'm looking for someone to be with for the rest of my life.
Hmm.
That way they know up front what you're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, and in that sense, I could, yeah, I could just share what I'm feeling and what I want, and maybe find a solution together with him. Yeah. Be like a team
He
player.
wants to date other women in that situation. I want to date other
Men. Yeah, I mean, in that scenario is true, because I don't want to be dating somebody who's dating other people. So I would like rather.
You've
I
already
also want to
got a
date other
plan.
men.
He wants to date other women. You've already got a plan. Let's see, without him, it's
It's like I'm constantly just looking where I can have my needs met, right? It's
yeah.
like, where can I get my drug?
The ego is all about the safety of this apparent physical body. It's all about that, because if that body dies, the ego is homeless. Or if he wants to date other women, then there goes the identity that would, he's not going to date other men, other women, and I feel secure, and maybe he's the one, and all that ego play. He wants to date other men, turn around, I want to date other men. So you have something in common to share. And you'd be sitting on the riverbank with a really intimate, close friend that have more in common than the ego had planned. There's intimacy, and then there's being together. And intimacy is a state of mind and heart, not body. He wants to date other women. Another turnaround, he does not want to date other women. Try that on.
Does not want to date other women. Well, he did say that he would prefer to be with me, but he didn't want to disappoint her, so he took her feelings into
My
account.
goodness. Wow. Wow. Huh. Yeah, he wants to date other women. He doesn't want to date other women according to what the preference he shared with you. But who would believe him when your ego is in charge?
Yeah, I completely closed down the moment he said that. I was just
Yeah,
unavailable anymore.
that's fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What was the cause of your fear? We just identified when it's what you were thinking and believing, when you're believing the thought he wants to date other women, and the ego's play that took it over. The ego, it's like this is a term for this trance that takes you away from reality. That's why people say, be in the moment, because there it is. It's not past, future, it's present. It's listening, being connected. But this is Earth School, and here we are. It seems. So let's look at two. In that situation on the riverbank with this man, okay, what did you want in the situation when he said that he committed one day? He was already committed for one day with another woman.
I wrote that I want him to only dedicate his free time to me, kind of like choose me and tell her that he wants to cancel.
Yeah, so you want him to drop his commitment.
Yeah.
To her, to his word. You want him to drop his commitment. You want him to dedicate all his free time to you. You want him to dedicate his free time with you, not with her.
Yes.
Is it true?
Well, not if he wanted to be
Hey,
with
now
her,
just
then
and I'm gonna slow it down. Not that what you were gonna say wasn't important, but just to really get in touch with how this work works. It's an exercise in stillness. So be there now. You want him to dedicate his free time with you, and he has just shared with you. He's committed to that one day. You want him to dedicate his free time to you. Now, the reason I slowed you down, precious, precious, precious one on the riverbank, is, the answer is either yes or no, because we're looking for what's true for you. You want him to dedicate his free time to you.
mm,
Wow. So feel that. That's you. There you are. There you are. Listening, present, respectful, a partner to be trusted, a friend to be trusted. And notice how you react on that riverbank. Witness how you react when you believe the thought. You want him to cancel her, to dedicate his free time to you.
yeah, I'm like nervous and I just want to get out of the situation. Everything is like in fight or flight mode for me. And now that I'm still, I realize that there could have been another peaceful, collaborative way.
Yes, honey. Yeah. Taking care of the business of your beautiful life, shared with someone you really care about. And sharing with someone you really care about.
It's just that, yeah, like I think I have this strong need to be loved and to be cared for and have this intimacy. And
With what I'm witnessing in you, he sounds like that guy. He keeps his commitment.
not to me.
Really? Really?
Mm,
In that situation?
no, it's true, he does keep his commitment. He did try to find solutions as well.
Mm. When people talk about it's the truth that set us free, you're just pointing that out to us and to yourself. How would you turn this around? I want him to dedicate his free time to me. I don't want him to.
I don't want him to dedicate his free time to me.
So, why might that be so with what you've become aware of?
Because he made a commitment that he wants to keep, and he doesn't want to cause pain to another person, so he wants to.
I would just drop all of that. What he said was, as I recall from you, is he has a commitment for that one day. Hear his words. Ego's job is to override, just basically sit there with someone you believe to be a liar. Notice your security. The ego's security is just evaporating. I want him to dedicate his free time to me. I don't want him to dedicate his free time to me in that situation for that one day. Why might that be so?
Because he wants to be doing something else.
He's committed to doing something else, and he wants to keep his commitment.
Yeah. And if I care about him, I want what he wants. And I wouldn't want him to force him to be with me if he wants to be.
Yeah, and now you've got a partnership going. Whether he ever wants to date you again, ever. And what you would that be doesn't want to date? The you you're waking up to, or the you you're meeting now on that riverbank?
Yeah. So it's just like the moment that I have to really kind of treasure, right? Because that's all I have anyway for now with him.
You want him to choose you and to cancel with her. Notice, I'll say it this way, notice your shtick, your performance, the ego's performance. Notice, in other words, how you react when you think the thought, I want him to choose me and to cancel with her. Cancel his commitment for that day with her.
Yeah, I would feel like it gives me the validation that I want.
Yeah.
I say, okay, this is important to him. I'm important to him.
There you are. There you are. And we wonder what life looks like beyond the ego, and you're pulling the curtain for us. Now listen to him without the thought, I want him to choose me and to cancel with her.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right.
Oh, I don't want to be right. I see you. I see you. And in that, you can see every human being. People are not who we believe them to be. You're pointing out to us how strong the ego is. An ego, a personality, doesn't love, it wants something. I want me to, and read that. I want him to choose me, to cancel with her, turned around. I want me to. To choose myself.
Choose myself and spend my free time with me.
And to cancel.
Cancel the plans.
That date with him.
That cancel the date with him.
Yeah, that date. That,
yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and to cancel that day with him. want me to choose me. You understand?
Yeah, what made me choose me is that it's like if he's committed to somebody else, he wants to keep his commitment to somebody else, then I want to be with me because
Yeah, and
I don't want to be.
you can
Yeah,
take that time you saw with the two of you together, you can go alone. Choose you. Don't cancel.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Life. Life.
It's just that I feel like sometimes that the time with me is not good enough.
Oh yeah, well look at what you're thinking and believing. That is not good company.
No.
Yeah, we're looking at that inner world you were holding sitting on the riverbank. You know, whoa. No wonder we don't want to be with ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's just something about somebody else's affection and
Well, he's
attention.
tied up for that day.
Yeah.
That leaves you free to be insecure, not to trust him, he feels like a traitor, he's not loyal, not that kind of day. But he's freed you up, for that day. Meaning he has a commitment. I want me to choose me and to cancel her in my mind's eye. Notice that she was prettier than you, she was kinder than you, she was smarter than you, she was all of those things, and then there was you in your mind's eye.
Yes.
And you've never met her.
No.
The ego is a terrorist. And it's only here to wake us up. This is Earth School. It's doing its job. Our job is to wake up to it, to wake up to the gift of life that I'm witnessing in you now. Let's look at 3.
In this situation, what advice would I offer him? He should focus on what he wants and figure out what he wants and not play those games with multiple women.
Oh, that is just so rich. Let's turn it around. In that situation, I should
get clear on what I want and not focus on
read it word for word. Take it in. This is advice to yourself. This is a gift. This is not something to overlook. Because you're prepared for it now. You've questioned it. In that situation, I should
get clear on what I want and not play with multiple women or like people. Maybe in this situation.
And those other men you had in your head, you were going to seek out because you had him gone in your head. I'm not guessing. I was coming from what you shared earlier.
Yeah, I think that's true. Like I'm like battling with not being clear what it really is that I want.
Yeah.
Because I'm not communicate. I also didn't communicate it clearly in that moment.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. In that situation, I should get clear on what he wants. And that is to keep his commitment. So on the riverbank, do that. Hear his words.
Yeah.
I'm free other than that day. He is clear.
He is clear. Yeah. It's just shocking to me because now I see that like I really wanted to like in some way use him.
Well, in every way.
And
Yeah, he's like your dream come true. The problem is he's a man in that situation, and you're the dreamer. There he is, as he is, not living up to your standards of what your ego would find acceptable as a partner. Gosh, that's such a, I love hearing that statement I just made. We take the people that we feel secure with and we mold them into what we think would give us the most security. And we call it love. And if they don't do it, we call it not love. So, honey, just turn it around to yourself again and just experience it on the riverbank with him. I should
get clear on what I want. And
what do you want? After the work you've done, what do you see?
I want to be free of those fears and beliefs.
What about, how does this feel? I want a partner, even if we're just dating, or if we marry and have 8 children, I want a partner. I should get clear on what I want, and that is someone that can keep their commitment and give me the majority of time, which would be the other 3 days, for example. And he shouldn't play multiple games with women turned around. I shouldn't.
I shouldn't play multiple games with men?
With him.
Multiple men? With him.
On the river.
I shouldn't play games with him. Yeah.
Yeah, and then as you ponder that, hopefully you'll do this worksheet all over again and spend time with you. That you'll see, all the multiple games. And if you play them with men, you play them with everyone. Because the ego's job, it has one thing in mind, to keep its identity. And what it seeks is love, approval, and appreciation and security. Or you wake up to reality. And the ego, you wake up to reality, and that is the death of the ego. Then it has to really fight for survival. With you, it doesn't even have to fight. You're tranced. All of you, this work keeps waking you up to the cause of suffering. Your own. It's made to order for you, not other people, for you. To sit alone with yourself and become aware, real deal aware of the cause of who you believe you to be and the pain in that, the suffering in that. Another turnaround, he should get clear on what he wants. Turned around, he shouldn't get clear on what he wants. He is clear.
Yeah, he wants to keep his commitment.
And to be with you those other days. And he shouldn't play multiple games. I shouldn't play multiple games with the other men. in your head in that situation? You know, the ego has a song. It's like, if you really loved me, you would. And it goes all the way to die for me.
Yeah, I think now I just feel really guilty, for
You
feeling that
know,
way.
I'm going to say a word and don't have an image, okay? Lemon. Did you see a lemon in your head? Are you guilty? You've been egoed, that's all. It showed you,
I've been played.
it showed you other worlds. Life is a trance. And on the other side of that trance, life, life, flawless, unimaginable life, love, the absence of suffering.
Yeah, yeah, sure, it just happens, but in some ways I choose to believe it, right? It's like
Well,
I
you
have the
don't
capacity,
choose it,
right?
honey. I ask you not to have a picture of lemon before I said lemon. I says, now don't have a picture. But you, 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 you were lemoned.
Yeah, but I can, yeah.
It's not a real lemon. You know, if I invite you, just imagine, just a big, juicy, ripe lemon. Now imagine just biting into that lemon.
Mm.
Did you experience something physical in your mouth, like saliva?
Yeah, yeah, I did.
The power of imagination.
But that I'm reflecting, that I'm sitting here with you now and doing the work and reflecting on this means that I have the capacity to to see through the ego's games. No, so
You
capacity.
obviously do. You obviously do. We're your witness.
Yeah, it's just that. Yeah, I feel guilty because I know I feel like I should know better, right? Like I feel
Oh,
like
it's a lemon. There's a good one. I should know better. I should know better. Honey, how old is that song? And where did you first hear that song? Was it your mother or a sibling or a next door neighbor going, you should know better? You know, or was it television? Was it in a song? Notice, it's not yours. It's borrowed property. It's not even yours. Everyone would know better if they could know better. But, you know, this is self-inquiry is, you know, the ego actually loves it, you know. You you just give it just all of the attention it needs when you sit in the riverbank and you identify what you were thinking and believing. In other words, the ego, and you fill in this worksheet. And the ego loves it when you question it because it goes, oops, oops, oops. You know, and it starts trusting. It starts trusting you're not trying to kill it, you're trying to understand it. Isn't that what we're all witnessing now? The ego, we're giving it everything it ever wanted. It wants to be recognized. And in that, it finds a home in your heart because it's very clear you're not trying to kill it. And that's where it can rest. And it can come out and play without you going, it's just like, you understand. You understand. Understand. We can't kill an ego. It's not real in the first place. But it just seems to be this thing that overtakes us, Its job is to live as physical. I am. But mind can never be physical. It's ridiculous. So, my sweetie, let's look at 4. In that situation, what do you need to be happy? What do you need him to think, say, feel, or do? What do you need to be happy in that situation on the riverbank with him?
I need him to tell me that he just wants to be with me.
Okay. And if he did, would that make you happy? Would you believe him?
Probably.
Okay, so be there now. He's saying he has, this one day committed to being with this other woman. To be happy, you need him to tell you that he just wants to be with you. Is it true? Would that make you happy?
Yes.
And notice how you react. What happens when you believe the thought? To be happy, I need him to tell me he just wants to be with me. And he speaks of commitment. Notice how you react. There's some storybook thing about if you really love me, he wants to prove it. I need him to tell me that he just wants to be with me. Boy, that is one small cocoon to wrap another human being up in. So, sweetheart, I'm hearing yes. To be happy, you need him in that situation to tell you he just wants to be with you. Is it true? Would that make you happy? And I'll leave that to you as a little homework. And in the interest of time together, now notice on the riverbank when you're believing that thought, that would make you happy. How you react when you believe that thought. And he's telling you about his commitment.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm not happy.
No, don't guess. Be there now.
When I'm not happy, I'm angry, right? I get angry, I get defensive. Yeah, I feel like I make my happiness dependent on his choice. So
Your happiness is the ego security that's in this situation. This, what is the ego? Okay, here it is. It's just front and center, 1 through 6 on this Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. So be on the riverbank, listen to his words as he's telling you about, he's responding to your plan for those 4 days. He tells you about his commitment. Close your eyes. Listen to his words without the thought, I need him to tell me he just wants to be with me. To be happy, I need him to tell me he just wants to be with me. Notice who you are without that thought. And listen to him and look into his eyes. Notice the river going by as you continue to look at his eyes, his face, his body language. Who would you be without the thought that anything less than that would make you happy?
I think I would already be happy without that thought and just.
So be there now and give you now what you couldn't give you then. Never too late. Be there now with him. Without the thought, I need him to tell me he wants to be with me. That's what I need to be happy. Who would you be without the thought? Listen, get present.
I would be free and happy, and I would care about him. I just feel so much care about him. Like,
Yeah, now close your eyes and I'll turn this one around. I found another turnaround that I'll share with you. Be there on the riverbank in that. For me to be happy, I need me to tell him that I just want him to be with her for that one day and to keep his commitment. And then if that feels right to you in silence, do that now. You know, this is like you giving to someone else what you want them to give, only you're into the more delicious. And you gave you that. And in that, you gave him that.
yeah, it feels like the right thing to do. Just feels like difficult to.
Yeah. The right thing to do or the wise thing to do? Which one, if you had to make a choice? The kindest, the most honest thing to do?
Yeah. The wisest thing to do.
Yeah. And notice how you gave it to both of you. You gave that to both of you. And then he comes back and said, I spent time with her. We're engaged to be married. We discovered each other. It was just amazing. And I just feel so close to you. I just want to share that with you. And notice on the riverbank how you set both of you free.
Yeah, that's true.
You're both of you free. It's like you don't want to be with someone you have to frighten into or what? Demand throughout a relationship. Demand of throughout a relationship. You can just understand and love unconditionally. And in that, the whole world opens up. A kinder world. You know, when I hear my words, I'm sharing my experience, but I hear how it might sound to some of you too. But if I could be happy with, let's just say, I could be happy with Frankenstein. If I am of right mind, I wouldn't stay in that relationship long. Wise doesn't mean stupid. But the kindest thing I can do living with Frankenstein is to leave for both of our sakes. That's not a great example, Frankenstein.
I get where you're going.
Okay, honey, thank you. I've been spared. I'm grateful. Thank you. Okay, honey. To be happy, turn it around. To be happy, I don't need him to.
To be happy, I don't need him to tell me that he wants to be with me.
To be happy, I need me to tell me
that I want to be with me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That you're finding is good company. And you have no idea who and what you would attract with that kind of just living out of that kind of wisdom that we often refer to as just kindness and understanding. Wise. Otherwise, you intimidate him, you frighten him, and you get married and rulers don't have a lot of fun. Rulers meaning kings and queens, and in the sense that I'm speaking of it now. Those who run the country of our families, our spouses, our children. Because what you do with him, you do with your children. I know from experience. Let's look at 5, honey. Let's look at 5.
He's
In that
unclear.
situation,
In this
because your
situation.
anchor there.
In this situation, he is unclear about what he wants and not honest. But now I can see it's not true. It's like he's very clear about what he wants and very honest.
Yeah, gosh, no wonder you're attracted to him. Yeah. Okay, in that situation, let's turn it around and see how it fits. In that situation, I am
unclear about what I want and not honest. And I think that's more true. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to dominate him, control him, tell him how to love, who to be with, or you become upset. Well, now you have a way to bring yourself back home until eventually it's just a way of living an awakened life, a life of awareness. Let's look at 6. There are terms for it. I don't know them all, but I do know freedom when I can't speak to that. Freedom of mind is freedom of body. Let's look at 6.
I just wrote, I don't ever want to be rejected again.
I'm willing to. I'm willing to.
I'm willing to be rejected again.
And I look forward to.
I look forward to being rejected again.
Yeah, because if you experience that again, it's like you've just met another teacher, just pointing out to you the cause of your problems is what you're thinking and believing, and that's without exception, in my experience. But I invite you all to test it. Okay, so I'm running very late, honey. Thank you for being our teacher today. And a quick feedback, Magdalena, quickly, honey. I'm not, yeah, I just want to hear you.
Oh, thank you so much. It resonates so deeply in me also with my wounds, which I was not aware any longer. So it was very revealing also here. And I'm so grateful to both of you for showing the path to loving in freedom.
Yeah. You know, Caroline's work was Caroline, your depth, honey, the depth of you, that untapped, it's like finding something beyond gold and platinum and all of it. It's like you have tapped in, and your open mind, it allows us to understand that it's for all of us. But if you can do it, we can do it. And thank you all for your focus today and our time together. And this team and I thank you for your contributions to this event. And it keeps us going. And thank you all. And done for now. By the way, everyone, if you enjoyed this podcast, please give us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. It really matters, and thank you for that. I love that you join me every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 9 to 10 a.m. Pacific time. At homewithbk.com, let's do the work.